Welcome to your full moon update for August 2024. Very powerful full moon, this dynamic between how we show up socially with our purpose, and it's a huge wealth activation, which we don't do by ourselves. It's with the connection of others and our authenticity across the chart, where we have the sun in Leo, really asking us to shine uniquely and authentically. And how do we do both and really show up for the service that we're here to? We've got a Mercury retrograde. Venus and Saturn are in opposition, so we've got a little bit of relationship energy to work with too. Hi, I'm Prema, and welcome to Chart Your Path. I am so glad that you are here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I really appreciate you doing that. It really helps to get these videos circulating out there. And welcome back, all the subscribers. If you don't know what your Vedic astrology ascendant and moon sign are, then the free chart calculator is in the description below, as well as all the links for my readings, the free Sacred Wealth Code quiz where you get one of your archetypes. Yeah, so much good stuff. The full moon is in Aquarius in Dhanishta Nakshatra on August 19th, 20th, depending on where you are. It's 11:25 p.m. Pacific time at 3 degrees on the 19th, so it may be the 20th for you. This is in the very innovative and humanitarian sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius is owned by our planet Saturn. It's owned by the great administrator and the organizer as well. This is where we're called to focus on healing, our social purpose, our creation of wealth. And it's in opposition to Leo, where the sun happens to be, and it is at its brightest and strongest in Leo and in Aries. In Leo's, it's reflecting this light of the sun right back on the moon. The moon does not have its own light. In Leo, we're being called to experience our self-expression. Really, we have that worthiness in us so that we can step out with our gifts, our individuation, and our authenticity. I talk about that a lot in the August update. This full moon is really amplifying our emotions in a big way because there is so much light with it, and full moons usually do that. It's working at bringing something to completion, so there's more light at this time to be able to see what's actually going on in order for us to pick up those details, for us to do the soul work and to help bring things into fruition and into completion. Where there's completion, there's space for something new to start. So whatever's, culminating, that's okay. Let it culminate. Just like when a flower comes into full bloom and eventually it's going to die off, and then we've got more to come. The full moon brings light again to where it is dark and you can't see. So on the full moon is always a wonderful time for us to be able to really tune in, take that time for yourself. You will see more than you normally do. That's why I hold full moon healing circles on the full moon. There is this theme of our individuation and the collective. This is both this Aquarius and Leo axis, our personal interest versus everybody's interest, and bringing balance in these areas. We are to live in both. Both are absolutely important. You can only give what you have. So we need to know who we are. This is a placement that helps us really create wealth. Dhanishta is the star of wealth. But we don't have that wealth of knowledge, that wealth of money, that wealth of our service to give away unless we have it and we know what it is. Your purpose is all about your own self-evolution and how we can give back. It's a beautiful thing. It serves both. Aquarius is very humanitarian, and the focus is on our creativity, on our network of people, our connections, our community, our sangha, and using our full potential. Saturn is currently in Aquarius. And Saturn is very strong in Aquarius. So it has a bit of bringing this seriousness to this time in this full moon. Saturn will be in this placement until March of 2025. And Saturn being known for its hard work and its commitment and its discipline, its focus and its ability to really persevere at things. And Saturn is a serious planet. But I want you to think of Saturn as bringing depth, because if you're committed to something, if you are focused, if you're persevering, if you have discipline, you're going deep with something. And Saturn wants us to walk this very, very true path and wants us to walk our path, but also have an awareness for the collective that we are part of. So it's also how we express our purpose and how we can give our gifts to the world, but do it in an innovative way. Aquarius is very idealistic, very innovative. This is a lot of new ideas come from here. That idealism, though, can bring on something new and creative and make you really step out with something from your gifts that, hasn't been experienced before. And it also can be a place where, because of the idealism, that we don't necessarily step forward. If you're not moving forward, that just means there's a block, there's something in the way, there's something to heal in order to do that. This full moon helps us to really be aware of the gifts that we have to serve the world in an innovative way and to heal what's in the way of us doing that. Dhanishta being known as the star of wealth. Wealth mind, wealth in body, wealth in spirit. Wealth is everything you need to fulfill your purpose. We need all those resources to do what we're here to do. And Dhanishta is very powerful and really supports us with the opportunities to increase our wealth at all levels, to call in financial abundance. So think of this as a wealth activation on all levels. It's exactly what we will be activating in the full moon healing circle, and healing and clearing anything that's keeping us from that. The link is down below for that. This is a placement that can even bring in fame and recognition. It's very, very powerful. It helps us to bring the resourcefulness of the collective together, of people together, of our network, of our community, and gives abundance. We are never meant to do it alone. So whether that is, the group that you are serving, whatever group that may be, or it's time to make new connections in order to be able to express and serve with your purpose. Saturn's been working on us with this since 2023, and when it came into this placement of Aquarius. So this has been an underlying theme for all of us. Okay, how do I serve? How do I help the collective move in the direction that makes most sense for me and my purpose, and where I can contribute? The wealth created here is with the intention to use it for the greater good. Again, we have to have it in order to give it. This is also a placement of where we're called to build something that's long-term. And this Leo Aquarius axis in the chart, again, is where all this energy is taking place. So you want to know where this placement is for you. It's also a time of celebration. And I want to encourage you to find something to celebrate on this full moon. And you don't have to wait to celebrate till something it comes into full fruition. If we're willing to celebrate all the steps along the way, we add this great energy of receivership, of holding the vision for something, collecting the energy around it. And usually we don't just celebrate by ourselves, we celebrate with others. So remember to celebrate along the way. Dhanishta is ruled by the 8 Vastus of light and energy, and they represent all aspects of life. These deities of earth give abundance to us on this material plane. And yes, we walk with a foot in this world, and we need that material abundance, but that's not the end all be all. We need the spiritual abundance as well. We need to cultivate both of them. This really calls us to our highest virtues. And again, that's our greatest gifts. Your sacred wealth code, your sacred wealth archetypes. That's where purpose and prosperity intersect or are placed in your soul blueprint, in your chart. And that really helps us to identify what are our highest value gifts, our highest virtues that we can live into. Because when we are giving our highest value gifts, we are on that path of not only prosperity, but purpose. It goes hand in hand. It goes together. Dhanishta is represented by the drum. It is this divine timing, this beating of Shiva's drum. And it represents this being in this natural rhythm of life, of the divine, of the cosmos, and paying attention to our divine timing and allowing things to unfold. Now, divine timing isn't just hanging back and and then allowing things only. It's this perfect balance. It's this sattvic energy. It's this balance between, energy, holding a form, and receivership as well. And sort of like masculine and feminine energy, we need to have an intention. So, what are the gifts you're stepping forward with? What is the wealth that you want to create for yourself, for the world? And then the, being open to the timing, the receivership. It's this allowing things to unfold, taking inspired actions, and walking, your aligned path, as it comes. So divine timing is not pushing things. That it's that steady beat. It's listening in. It's tuning in. It's taking mentorship that makes sense to you, that works with your unique gifts and your timing. It's this, again, the symbol is this constant beat of the drum of creation and destruction, because as we create, there are some things that are falling away. So what are you wanting to call in for yourself on this wealth level? And what do you want to create for the world? I'd love to hear what that is for you. Leave me a comment. That clear intention is the first part of it. And what is it that you might need to let go of? We'll be working on this in the healing circle. This wealth activation will also really bring to the surface some of the places we feel blocked around that, our worthiness, our lack of clarity, the places that we have just put the stop on wealth coming to us, or we're not following our own divine timing. We're pushing too hard, or we're hanging back, and we're just kind of not opening up to what's new and what's next. So there's this beautiful dance here. This really welcomes the energy of vibrational healing and sound healing, which both we do in the healing circle. This is placement of drum, and Shiva has that stillness, that eye of the storm kind of an energy, knows when to move and when to just hold the vision. And we're called to do both. And how do we know what the timing is? We have to listen, and we have to know our own path to do that. Aquarius is a place of being unattached, not so much detached where we don't care. We create the vision, we hand it over to the divine, we listen, we follow that inner calling on what it is for us to do next. And we don't let our idealism get in the way. One of the things that you might have coming up during this full moon is, where do you feel like you belong, and what communities, and where do you feel like you are actually fitting in or not fitting in? And we have to watch out for fitting in, because if we're fitting in, a lot of times we're hanging back in some way, we're stuck in some way, we're turning the dial down on ourselves in some way so that we fit. But that doesn't usually work for long. Instead, we want to choose where we belong. And sometimes as you're stepping into what's next for you, you can feel like there's a bit of a falling away of what was, and that space is opening up so that you can start to connect with where you want to belong. Because we get to decide where we belong. So if you're sacrificing your gifts in some way, or sacrificing your full expression in some way, your expansion and moving to the next level is also being sacrificed in some way. So just be aware of that dynamic between and fitting in, because that might come up during this full moon. Also with this full moon, we have Venus and Saturn on the 19th. They're actually in opposition at 23 degrees to one another. Venus in Leo, Saturn in Aquarius, where this full moon is taking place. And relationships could feel a little bit strained that day. So just take a chill pill around relationships on that day. And speak into that a little bit more on the update for August, so you can tune into that as well. So here's some of the things that you'll want to do for this full moon. First of all, celebrate. Find something to celebrate about yourself, about your expression, your authenticity, how you want to express your gifts, the vision you're creating that contributes to the collective and where you want things to go. Listen to music, play music. I'm a forever beginner musician. I play the harmonium, I play the singing bowls, I play the ukulele, I play the guitar. And this is a good time to, if you haven't been playing music and you do, to restart that. Music puts us in flow. It allows us to open up in a very creative kind of a way. It's a wonderful tool and joy to use during this time. It helps us tap into universal flow. Messages will be channeled through. So to hear those messages, you need to be quiet enough. You need to spend some time by yourself, walk in nature, sit in meditation. They can come in through music. You may be getting some messages coming through watching this. So listen, tune in. There's messages coming through. Deep insight is available here. Dance, move your body. Really tune into what are your gifts, and what are the gifts that maybe you're not fully expressing and you'd really like to? Where do you feel held back around that? Create a new plan around your desire for wealth or intention. First, we have to have a clear intention, and then we need to get into the zone of feeling that and acting with that vibrational energy to create that. And what do you need to clear that's keeping you in the way of that? Come and join me in the full moon healing circle, because we will be working with clearing any of the energy that's keeping us from being able to fully raise our vibration, raise our frequency, and own our value, own our worth, own our gifts, like claim it. And claiming it means actually stepping into it. But if something's blocking us and we don't know what it is, and then we need to have some light shed on that. And this full moon is really great for that. So I invite you to join me in that. The link is down below for that, and all the links for my reading. I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. I dropped some questions in with this forecast and what's coming up for you. And again, I'd love to see you in the full moon healing circle, and also love to do a reading with you as well. All those links are down below, and so much love to you.